guys for your patience. I appreciate it. Last week I actually got sick. I think it was a chest cold or whatever it was, and I had lost my voice. So I was like, I don't think I can do the rune video this week. It would have been pretty difficult, but thankfully my voice is back, and now I'm back again to share with you guys the practice and see what the runes have to say for the week ahead. And of course, before we begin, I do want to talk about the astrological energies that we'll be working with this week. So first off, happy Taurus season. I'm very excited for it. As a Taurus myself, it is a season of grounding, of rest, of connecting to your senses. It is the heart of spring, which is one of the most beautiful times in the year, I think. So the weather's getting warmer, season is moving just as wonderfully. Lots of pollen. For those of us who get allergies, you know that sometimes it's not always fun, but regardless, it is a beautiful time. We also have Mercury just went retrograde in Taurus, and Mercury has already been in Taurus for the past 2 weeks or so. So we've been getting a sense of Mercury's energy, or the energy of communication and cycle pump energy. So that means ferrying over of images, messages, dreams, things like this, and ferrying them over from the other dimensions into our current dimension. So we've already had a taste of it, but now that Mercury is going into retrograde, we can expect to receive unexpected messages. We can expect to see a slowdown in communication. We can expect to also see a slowdown in our thoughts. Our thoughts may be moving slower than usual. It may be a little bit more difficult to get daily tasks done for the next week or so. Maybe I think 2 weeks. For the next 2 weeks, let's say. But this energy of Mercury in retrograde is really inviting us to find some time to rest. Especially since Aries season has been very on the go. So I think it's a very welcome change of pace. Okay. And of course, if you see, my fingers are dyed with henna. I had received a message during a meditation that I needed to do it, so why not? So let's see what the runes have to say. So this week has to do with the heart. There's a lot of heart-centered themes this week. Whether it's dealing with heartbreak, heartache, joyfulness, and overflowing of the heart center. Our heart chakra, or the heart center, usually deals with joy, compassion, happiness, connection to others. It's the bridge between the spiritual, what we consider to be the spiritual world, and what we consider to be the world of the mundane, or the daily world, even though both are, in my opinion, one and the same, or different aspects of the same reality. And the heart really is the space in which we see that. The heart also deals with anger. It deals with frustration. The heart also deals with disappointment, in terms of when it's in its shadow, or when its energy is heavy. So this week, for those of us who are watching, is a very heart-centered week, which means that we're going to be working through the joys of the heart, the pains of the heart, the happiness of the heart, right? It's all about our inner heart center. And it is, in my opinion, that it is only through the heart that we can see the universe, that we can see the truth, or what we perceive of as the truth, right? This is our inner compass. Our heart is our inner compass. So a lot of inner compass work this week, a lot of heart center stuff this week. I feel like for many of us, there may be heart surgeries in families currently, or someone is going in for a procedure, or perhaps there's like what specifically came up was like hearing a heartbeat, or being more conscientious of a heartbeat. So whether that is with your lover, with a child, with an unborn baby, with whatever it may be, like there's this thumping, right? This connecting to the heartbeat of the world. And so it is about silence. It is about taking time to rest. But we'll see what the runes have to say, because as I was pushing them aside, I also spotted Yera. And Yera is, of course, the rune of the Wheel of Fortune. It is the rune of seasons. So perhaps this week is a closing of an emotional chapter, or a closing of a chapter of the heart, where, for example, if we were once hard, we are now turning soft. Where we were once judgmental, we are now turning compassionate. Where we are once heavy of heartache or heavy of pain in the heart, we are learning this week to let it go and to be lighter in the heart center. So what I see here is we have Inguas, which is the rune of grounding. And centered around the rune of grounding, we have Vercano, which is the rune of springtime, which is a very apt rune to come out. And we also have Ansus, but it came out in Merkstaff position. Ansus being the rune of Odin, the rune of communication. And when it's in Merkstaff position, it can often mean mischievousness. It can mean jokes or pranks. It can mean slyness or cunning, right? An overuse of our intellect, so to speak. So to see all of these together here in the beginning of the week, right? So today, Monday, into tomorrow, Tuesday, and heading into Wednesday's energy, it seems that these next 2 days are really grounding in to our bodies, because there are a lot of doubts or a lot of difficulties that our mental plane is going through. So, for example, this is just what's coming to my mind. It feels to me that we may be experiencing we may be talking ourselves into a pickle. That's a very specific turn of phrase, but like talking yourself into a corner, or talking yourself into like a space that isn't the best for you. So it feels to me that this energy, along with Mercury in retrograde, we're being asked to allow the mind to pause, because we can be cunning even with ourselves, and the mind can be cunning such that it tries to maintain its cycles, right? It tries to maintain its for example, if you often have cycles of doubt in your mind, perhaps your mind is geared towards maintaining those cycles because it's easier to manage. It knows how to work through those things. Whereas Berkano and Inguas is saying ground into the body, ground into yourself, ground into your breath, ground into the physical presence here. It feels like if you've been feeling the call to pull away a bit from music or listening to Spotify or all those, music app things, like giving yourself some time for rest or giving your ears time for rest, I think that's a message that I'm getting as well for someone out there. I'm also seeing, as we go later into the week, we have Isa that has fallen on its side, Isa being the rune of ice. We also have Othala, which have fallen in Merkstaff position, Othala being the rune of spiritual inheritance. So to see these two together, to me, represent a pause in a perspective, a pause in a viewpoint or a way of looking at things. Othala in Merkstav can represent myopic perspectives. It can represent seeing things from only one point of view. And Isa being on its side, to me, is saying that it's at the heart of the matter, at the heart of everything, at the heart of this week, which again is revolving around the heart center. There is such a beautiful springtime energy waiting in this heart space that wants to flourish, wants to prosper. But around it, there are points of view and perspectives, and harsh words is what I'm hearing, harsh words that are said to the heart. This week, I invite you, if you feel called to do so, to speak gently to your heart, to speak kindly to yourself, to focus on being conscientious in conflict, being conscientious in disagreement, being conscientious in miscommunication. Because with the Mercury retrograde energy, sometimes those are the things that we may encounter during this period of the planet's transit. We may encounter communication difficulties or conflicts or discrepancies in the realm of communication, whether it's through email or text or conversation one-on-one or in a group. And so it feels to me that this energy is more about the very cunning and powerful nature of our mind to keep itself safe. And that's always, that, you know, it's a good thing. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes, you know, our mind is developed to protect us. Though it feels this week that it's time to go deeper into the heart space, to ground ourselves in our physical body, to ground ourselves specifically in our breath, and to move beyond the potentially myopic perspective. For example, if you feel like, you know, let's say you get an opportunity this week, and the opportunity is really beautiful. It has this Berkano energy. It's everything that you've always wanted to try, right? Let's say it's a new job opportunity, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna apply for it, I'm gonna see what happens, and then you get it. And the moment you get it, you say to yourself, wait, do I really deserve this? Am I really supposed to have this? Am I really supposed to, like, is this something that I can really deserve or really have in my life? Am I worth this, right? Whatever these thoughts that come in your mind that come from old beliefs and old patterns, and have profited themselves in this myopic belief system that kept you in a space that was safe for you in the past, or safe for you in situations that are no longer this one. And now the runes are saying, open up, take the chance, let the mind quiet, and move towards your joy, right? And later in the week, towards the weekend, I see we have Gebo again. And Gebo keeps coming up, and I feel like we are constantly receiving gifts for the past 3 weeks. And these gifts are going to keep coming. These abundances, these blessings, whether they are big or small. And a part of it is allowing ourselves to change our perspective, to say that we are worthy enough for all the things that we deserve. We are worthy enough we are already worthy. There is no world in which you are not worthy of the good things in life. All of us are deserving of good things, deserving of beauty, deserving of grace. So that's the runes that I see for this week ahead. Let me know how that resonates with you guys. It seems to be a very heartfelt week. So for those of you who are going through some difficulties in the heart space, my heart goes out to you. And I really hope that you guys take some time to rest, connect with community, and reset and recenter yourselves. Okay? I'll see you guys next week here on the channel. Bye everyone.